Hey, what's up YouTube? Your boy Chris out in the Caliente garage. After installing the Rivco hitch on my Honda Goldwing GL 1800, I'm having to rewire the connections between the Goldwing and the trailer because my 6-pin round mounting bracket was made for the karaoke hitch. It was not made for the Rivco hitch. So in this video, I plan to come up with a better way to connect my trailer wiring. Let's get started. My initial thought process was to take the 6-pin round coming from the Honda Goldwing GL 1800 and change it out with a 6-way square. The 6-way square is easy to grip. It has a reliable connection. It's built to last. It's made of high quality and it's easy to install. If I change the 6-pin round receptacle on the Honda Goldwing to a 6-way square, then I will be left with no choice but to change the 6-pin round male to a 6-way square on the trailer. Some of the things that I might be needing for this installation: corrugated wire loom tubing, an assortment of heat shrink tubing, a long reach butane lighter, a terminal and crimping tool kit, some wire snips, and some 12-volt circuit testers. Anytime I do electrical work, whether it's on my automobile or my motorcycle, I always keep some 12-volt circuit testers available. The first thing I decided to do was disconnect the negative terminal on the battery to prevent a short circuit or ground fault. Next, I needed to remove the 6-pin round from the Honda Goldwing using the wire snips. I took a screwdriver and removed the small Phillips screw from the 6-pin round. I wanted to open it up to give a more thorough inspection. I proceeded to clean the contacts with electronic cleaner. After a more thorough examination under light and the magnifying glass, I noticed rust buildup and deposits of corrosion. I decided that it would not be in my best interest to reinstall this particular 6-pin round back to the Honda Goldwing. I had an additional 6-pin round to a 4-way flat adapter that I made that wasn't being used, that was sitting in my toolbox. I cut a foot of 14 gauge 6-wire jacketed black flexible trailer light cable. I carefully spliced each 14 gauge wire one at a time, preparing to insert the trailer wires back into the 6-pin round. When connecting trailer wiring, you want to make sure that you take your time and put it in the proper place. On the back of the 6-pin round, it gives you the codes for each wire, but it's so small you barely can see it. So when connecting trailer wires, take your time, make sure that you are inserting it into the right contact. Otherwise, you may blow a fuse or your trailer lights may work improperly. Now that I have all of the 14 gauge wires spliced and plugged into the 6-pin round, I'm verifying with the magnifying glass that each wire is plugged into the proper contact. Next, I look for a place on the back of the Goldwing where I could place the housing of the 6-pin round. The bottom of the fender seems like the best place to mount the housing of the 6-pin round. I needed the exact measurements of the 6-pin round housing for proper placement to the rear fender, so I fabricated a template from cardboard. For proper bolt placement, I use an arrow revolving hole punch. And now that I have the template completed, I can place it on the back of the rear fender in the exact place that I plan to put the 6-pin round housing. I use a digital micrometer to find out the exact measurements of the back of the 6-pin round housing. I then took a very small drill bit and marked the spot on the back of the fender, and I started my purchase point. I took my step drill bit and drilled out the exact diameter that I previously calculated. I proceeded to drill 2 holes for the mounting bolts. I then placed the housing in my bench vise and used the Dremel tool to sand away some of the dull finish. I used a wire brush to help bring back the original finish. I also used several textures of sandpaper to help restore the finish. I then reassembled the 6-pin round housing, and I started the process of splicing each one of the wires. And now that I have the wires spliced and ready, now I can insert the wiring into the corrugated tubing, and this will protect the wiring from the elements. I took black electrical tape and sealed the corrugated tubing. And now I can begin the tedious process of connecting the color-coded trailer wiring. I'm using a butane lighter and heat shrink wrap to seal the connections. The heat shrink will keep a tight connection and also protect the wires from the elements. Once this process is complete, I can seal the outside of the wires with electrical tape and cover it with corrugated wire loom. And now that I have the wires sealed with shrink wrap, I'm just tucking it inside of the corrugated tubing and wrapping it with electrical tape. And once this process is finished, I could tuck it underneath the gold wing and zip tie it out of the way. And this is what the gold wing looks like now that it's completed. I have the 6-round connector mounted to the rear of the fender. All of the lights are working as they should. The turn signals are working perfectly. Everything looks good. And this is going to conclude the video of me installing the wiring to my trailer hitch. If you guys have any questions or any comments, feel free to put them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is your boy Chris out in the Caliente garage, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.